I'm tired, but this isn't a mentality you escape. It isn't a deficiency of the body, but rather an uncertainty that lies awake. Uncomfortable fears that wish to be embraced. They kiss you on the cheek and ask about your days, about the worries that won't erase. You turn on the TV and wonder if your schools are even safe, if your melanin means less about color and more about space. The headscarf has never scared you, but you suddenly keep your distance just in case. A bilingual tongue is speaking a language that you can't articulate, so we lock our doors to be safe. We lock our hearts to be safe. We send the world our thoughts and prayers, but do our thoughts and prayers reflect our faith? So I'm tired, but you see, my soul is rested. Faith is like a flowing river that fear drowns in if it's tempted. Faith is uncertainty at peace. Faith is when the rest of the world locks its doors and you take your worship to the streets. You build a home out of acceptance and you water the gardens and plant the seeds. An open heart that pushes boundaries is what I like to call active wisdom, because it is not what I have, but what I do is my kingdom. Because you can spend hours in God's home and never benefit those in need. Haven't you seen amongst history how actions embody their beliefs? Change is not the strength of your body. Remember, Miss Parks moved a country between her teeth. Dr. King created realities with a dream, and they weren't fueled by fear, but the glimmer of hope that's in between. It takes one voice to confront the fears that have closed us shut. Because when you stand up, the spines of others stiffen up. Because I would rather be a victim of faithful optimism than a prisoner of giving up. I would rather embrace faith with open arms than embrace hatred with a mind shut. I would rather kiss the cheeks of uncertainty and ask it to introduce itself, because our reassurance is in God and the unmasked truth. Our faith is in the openness and not the 5 o'clock news. So what is faith without action? What is conviction without passion? What is the point of perfect vision if it turns a blind eye and becomes passive? What if you think to yourself that someone else will stand up only to realize that they haven't? And love is a universal language. Tell me, what language do you laugh in? What kind of patience do you practice? Our tongues are lessons that teach children about our actions. So don't let the hopelessness hinder your emotions. Faith swims in calm seas when tsunamis swim in darker oceans. And if this life is made of pain, then we fight pain with arms open. And in that moment, I challenge you to remember your roots. Because roots are soiled in love, and love manifests truth. Yes, love manifests truth. And if you feel like your heart is like iron doors, then I promise love will open you. So let's talk about the strength that comes inevitably when your foundation is built in the heart of your community. Let's talk about peace, mercy, and open-heartedness. Let's talk about the obstacles our ancestors had to live. Let's talk about the prayers with no lungs and the miracles with no speech. Let's talk about the blessings that came running. They came running with no feet. You know, there was blessings that came running after every moment of defeat. There was that little voice that said complete what the rest of the world left as incomplete. So let's talk about the voice that asks you to soften when the rest of the world shakes as it asks you to harden. And love isn't always kumbaya moments staring into stars as they glisten. And I pray that the angels always surround us, but that doesn't mean that the devil doesn't visit or that the devil doesn't listen, because hardship will always be around the corner, but love is always at a closer distance. It's just much quieter when it visits. And may we become unified and dignified in moments the world forces us to depart. And may we become vessels of God's light straight into the heart. Thank you.